John Jones has never turned down an opponent here or been afraid to fight anybody.
So if, for instance, he doesn't fight this guy, who would you like to see him fight? Or are you going to wait until he fights this guy?
I don't know. We'll see how this thing plays out over the next couple weeks. But yeah, if we can't get this fight done, we'll move on quickly.
I was going to say, Dana, my last thought on that. How long are you going to wait? I mean, how long is it worth waiting for?
I said a couple weeks.
Couple weeks?
Yeah, we'll have answers in the next couple weeks.
Dana White has given John Jones and Tom Aspinall an ultimatum. Finalize the heavyweight title fight soon, or the UFC will move on. If Jones versus Aspinall doesn't happen, other options like Cyril Gane or Derek Lewis may be considered. Daniel Cormier believes that he has the same caliber as John Jones, but in a younger version, which is threatening John Jones and his legacy. Cormier has recognized Tom Aspinall's potential. He believes that Tom actually has the physical attributes, speed, and skill set to beat John Jones, and not many have the confidence to say it publicly.
Do you believe that Tom Aspinall can actually do what he says he does?
Well, let me tell you something. Michael Bisping, before Tom Aspinall fought Sergey Pavlovich, he said all kind of crazy shit. He said he's gonna beat John Jones. He moved like Muhammad Ali. He gonna be the next Muhammad Ali. And I said, Mike, this has to be a gimmick. I said, please tell me. It's a gimmick. You're playing a part. There's no way you believe this. He goes, Daniel, this fight is gonna last 2 minutes between him and Sergey. I said, bro, Sergey's knocked out 8 dudes in a row. He's knocked out Derek Lewis in a minute. Tom goes and knocks him out. Tom leaves to the back.
Tom Aspinall isn't just explosive and powerful, he is also a student of the game. He studies and adapts from different styles of fighting, even guys like Justin Gaethje, known for leg kicks and pressure. That's what's so dangerous about Tom. He is always evolving.
One of my favorite techniques that Gaethje uses is he doesn't just use the calf kick. He uses the running, kicking the soccer ball calf kick, where he'll start from here and just launch into it and absolutely blast them.
Tom Aspinall is not just training as a fighter. Tom Aspinall is training like the world's strongest man. He is lifting insane amounts of weights, not to look strong, but to throw John Jones around the octagon when that day comes. Every rep, every round, every drop of sweat is all for one purpose: to become the most dangerous heavyweight on the planet.
Stones the shoulder, let's go, man. It's a heavy one. Yeah, oh, he's got up. Oh, he's got up, yeah, he's got up. Yeah, perfect. That was hang on.
Daniel Cormier respects what Tom Aspinall is doing, and he's impressed. DC wants to point something out. When he and other legends fought John Jones, they were in their late 30s. Now John is the elder fighter. Tom Aspinall is the young, hungry lion with power, confidence, and still evolving. The roles are completely flipped. Tom is doing what John once did, beating elite fighters in his 20s, and that is why DC says don't count this kid out.
I'm sitting out with Tom Aspinall, and I'm chatting with him. And he tells me, he goes, DC, you haven't seen anything. He goes, I'm about to put it on this dude. I said, but boy, he's fast and he's big and he's been at the top of the game. He went at that dude like Curtis was not on his level. Knocked him out. Here's the problem. When we all fought John, you know that the first time I fought John Jones, I was 36 years old. I was 36 years old.
Shit.
The first time I fought John Jones. 36 and 38 the second time. He's now what, 37, 38 years old? He was in his mid-20s when he fought all these great legends, but he fought them all when he was in his mid-20s. Now, he'd be on the other side of that coin. Right. This kid's young. Right. He's the older guy. He's been through the wars. It doesn't matter how great you are. When you go through that many battles, it will show. The Gustafsson fight.
John Jones is doing exactly what veterans do. He is no-selling Tom Aspinall. He is making Tom not matter. No reaction, no buzz, just silence. And it is all part of the game plan. Make the young lion mad. Make him wait. Because John doesn't need Tom. He already has his legacy, mansion, and money.
So if you're John Jones and you're fighting a guy, if you're fighting a guy like Tom Aspinall, how would you bring the guerrilla war to a guy like Tom? If you're John,
exactly what he's doing. He's doing the right thing. He's no selling it. Like he's acting like he does not matter. Make him just angry and just don't give him what he wants. Don't give him what he wants until eventually, yo, did you see the house John Jones just bought?
Hey,
John Jones doing all right, dog. Did you see John Jones' house?
I said congratulations.
John Jones doing all right, man. John Jones don't need Tom Aspinall.
No, he doesn't. But if he was, let's say, dude, because you never know, man.
You think he should fight this guy?
No, I think he should be done, and I think he deserves. I think he deserves to be done for what he's done with Celia, because you're right. It's a bigger guy, a different generation, and I will say
he's already beat two generations, three.
And I will say something about Tom.
No matter whether John Jones fights Tom or not, Tom Aspinall is training every day to become the best version of himself. He's lifting heavy weights, not to show off to anyone, but to conquer the heavyweight division. He's improving footwork, honing striking, and building a fight IQ every round in the gym.
5, then back squat, yeah. Nice.
And then back
5
to the
more,
press.
5 more strip press.
Front squats.
Yeah, front squats now. That's right.
He is preparing for the biggest title fight of his life. Meanwhile, the world waits for answers, and John Jones remains quiet. Tom is in the gym sweating and grinding like he has never done before. He is lifting like a machine. Tom is aware of the moment and what is at stake. A legacy-defining fight. A chance to defeat the biggest light heavyweight in history. He is chasing history. It isn't about if the fight happens. It is about when the fight happens. Tom Aspinall will be ready for it.
I don't know, he doesn't say calories. 43.
By the end, one thing is becoming clear. John Jones is the MMA version of Michael Jordan, and like Jordan, he has nothing to prove. But Tom Aspinall might actually be the challenge he needs to drag the GOAT back into battle.
Ah. 30. What?
Bringing it back there.
Furthermore, heavyweight strength and conditioning is designed to build maximum power, explosive speed, and elite level endurance. All things that are needed to take over the UFC fighters like Tom Aspinall will utilize heavy compound lifts such as squat, deadlift, and bench press to increase raw strength, and Olympic lifts such as cleans and snatches to aid explosiveness. Alongside this, Tom focuses on high cardio such as sprint intervals and circuits of high intensity to also maintain stamina throughout the 5 rounds. Building up core muscles is also part of his training to enhance balance, takedown defense, and to deliver hard strikes. Each training session is with one overarching goal: to make himself the most complete, dangerous heavyweight in the world. Regardless if John Jones shows up, Tom is training like he is going to be the future undisputed champion.
Simeon's absolutely rapid. Get this on camera. Oh.
Jon Jones didn't confirm retirement, teased a potential return, and said he does want to fight Tom Aspinall, but no clear timeline. He also joked that they could fight at Dirty Boxing, seemingly making a joke of it and hinting that he is not closing any doors, but he is also not fully committing yet.
John, what up? I haven't seen you since Thailand.
How you feeling?
What's up,
Legend over here.
Can you sell it once and all for fans? They want to know, are you retired or not?
Oh, man. Be sure to check out Dirty Boxing 2 tomorrow night.
Because I think you'll be back. What's the magic number to get you back?
If you come to Dirty Boxing, you'll find out.
If you think about DC saying he would have already fought Tom.
I don't think much about it, but I really do want to fight Tom Aspinall. I just want to meet him here at Dirty Boxing.
So he has to come to a Dirty Boxing event for him to get the fight?
No, we'll fight here at Dirty Boxing.
You'll fight at Dirty Boxing. I like that. All right, John.
Meanwhile, MMA commentator and former UFC fighter Chael Sonnen brings up a recent statement by Cormier that Cormier made where Cormier blasted Jon Jones for not fighting the best heavyweight fighters in the division like Tom Aspinall and Francis Ngannou. Cormier mentioned that if Jon Jones does not come back to fight those guys, then he is not retiring, he's just quitting. Chael admitted that it was a very powerful statement to make or say, and in fact it made him ponder deeply and kept him up at night.
Not everybody has the right to an opinion. He does, and it was very interesting. He said if I was the heavyweight champion, if I was still fighting, I was the heavyweight champion, I'd have already fought Tom Aspinall. I'd have already fought Francis Ngannou. I'd have already rematched Jon Jones. He said if Jon Jones leaves right now, he does not retire, he quits. And that was a powerful statement.
Chael then compared Daniel Cormier and Jon Jones's mindsets. Daniel Cormier is always competing. Cormier never backed down in his amateur wrestling career, never waited on the right offer, and never procrastinated getting in a fight with someone. Chael compares that mindset to the current situation around how Jon Jones is handling things, especially with the narratives surrounding the expectations of him fighting top contenders like Tom Aspinall in the heavyweight division. Chael states, Cormier would have already had a request in with Dana White for those fights, not avoid them or wait.
Daniel would have already fought those guys. There would not have been a negotiation. He'd have been asking for him. He'd have been contacting Dana as champion. When is my next fight? He'd have been in the gym at AKA, and he and his team would have been game planning looking for that fight. They'd have worked the numbers as they go. But at the end of the day, what comes first, the number of the fight? Well, when you're Daniel, the fight. He'll get to the fight, and then the numbers are just going to get figured out somewhere along the way. He's never going to delay the competition. That's what a true competitor does. That's what Tom Aspinall's trying to do. Listen, and Matt Lindland told me, you can never retire unless you win a world championship. You can only quit. If you're world champion, somewhere along the way, you can, at your choice, retire. But if the day comes that you say I'm done and you haven't won a world championship, you quit. Whether that's true or not, I believed it.
He uses this idea to show what he believes Tom Aspinall is doing at this moment, trying to pursue greatness by title properly, in the sense that he is pursuing the biggest fights and not waiting on them.
If Jon Jones does not make that walk against Aspinall, does it call into question Jon's career and everything that he's achieved? It's very difficult to compliment Jon for what he's done at heavyweight.
Now, Jon's win over Gane doesn't mean much at all, other than Gane didn't fight back in that matchup. But now we have Jon sitting out for a long time. Years passed before that fight, and over a year after that. There were rumors Jon would be facing Stipe Miocic, but it hasn't happened yet. Chael gives Jon credit for what he accomplished in the light heavyweight division to him. Jon is one of the greatest all time, but heavyweight, the resume is very thin. He also mentions that Jon is possibly playing a game of chicken, a sort of standoff or delay, and if that ends without a fight against Aspinall, then perhaps Cormier is right to criticize whether Jon was looking to test himself against any of the top contenders in the division.
This little game of dare that Jon is playing plays out, and he doesn't compete with Aspinall. Yes, the media is going to be terrible, and yes, they're going to bury him. And this little thing called legacy, which is how you're remembered and how you're spoke about after the fact, is not going to go in your direction. All of those things are true unless Tom and Surreal see round 2.
Chael Sonnen says Jon Jones's legacy is at risk. If he keeps avoiding fighting Tom Aspinall, the media will eat him alive, and they'll destroy his reputation as he is supposed to be the champion. But if Cyril Gane fights Aspinall and has a very close fight, which is tough even if Gane loses, it will benefit Jon because Jon made Gane look so easy. Chael claims Gane mentally froze in the Jon fight, not because he is a bad fighter, but because of the mental element Chael can relate to.
Right, if Aspinall and Surreal fight and Aspinall beats him, but it's in the second round, Jon only needed a couple of minutes and never even got punched in the face. It's a very hard bar. And it's a very misleading bar. Because that wasn't really Jon versus Surreal. Surreal didn't show up that night. Because whether you like that or not, Tom Aspinall is going to have to beat 4 minutes and 31 seconds. And if he doesn't, Jon Jones, without lifting a finger, is going to get that legacy and get that reputation back. And I do think that's a hard bet. No matter how great you think Aspinall is, I don't think you're overly confident that he can get a fellow striker like Surreal out of there in 5 minutes.
Next, Chael Sonnen responded to criticism and defended both his legacy and Daniel Cormier's recent statements. Daniel Cormier, a former heavyweight champion, is a guy who has earned the right to give opinions because he has actually put in the work and has achieved greatness. There are more who have not earned the right to say something, but Cormier sure does.
But the reason I had the right to talk trash, the reason I had the right to put this finger in that chest and say whatever I want about whoever I wanted, is I would step to the ring on time every time. You pick the rules, you pick the organization, you pick the weight class, you pick the opponent. I will never not show up and answer for it, and that bought me the right. You're saying it's because of what I said or my ability to manipulate the media. But there was another side to it, which is unlike you. After I said it, I'll make that walk. I coined the phrase, make that walk, quite literally. So, the big bear speaks, Daniel Cormier, and he, as a world champion from the heavyweight class, has the right to an opinion.
Jon Jones defeated Cyril Gane in 4 minutes and 31 seconds, and that number matters. If Tom Aspinall is unable to finish Gane in a shorter time than this, Jon's legacy at heavyweight stays intact even if Jon doesn't compete again. Chael points out that great fighters such as Francis Ngannou, Derek Lewis, and Junior Dos Santos were not able to finish Gane in that time, so for Tom to achieve that feat would be very difficult and dangerous.
Hey, Jon did a lot of work, and he did a lot of very good work. And for Aspinall to get the jump on Jon, he could either beat Jon in head-to-head competition, or he's got to find a common opponent. In this case, it would be Surreal. And he's got to beat him faster and easier than Jon did. And Tom hits pretty hard. He could do it. But I don't think you're willing to bet your house. I don't think you're completely as confident as you pretend to be that Aspinall could get Surreal out of there inside of 5 minutes.
Chael doesn't know why Jon would choose to walk away now, after spending his whole life working to achieve this level of superfight status. He believes Jon deserves his legacy, and even if the fans besmirch him, the numbers and performances still show that Jon is great. Either Tom has to beat Jon directly, or Tom has to beat Cyril Gane better than Jon did. Defeating Jon Jones would be the biggest victory of Tom Aspinall's career, but as with everything, it comes at a cost. He is working intensely, pushing his limits with every training session, knowing that the path to victory over Jon Jones demands relentless dedication. Moreover, Tom is specifically targeting effective punching, which is Jon Jones' most dangerous skill. Tom is trying to fine-tune his timing, precision, and knockout power, because he understands that one shot could alter the course of the fight against a dangerous fighter like Jon Jones. Aspinall's team is even focusing on building their strategy based on explosive counters and high pressure, while working to neutralize Jones' advantage, getting into more dangerous exchanges. So the question remains, will Jon Jones finally accept the challenge? Or will Tom Aspinall keep rising as the future king of the heavyweight division without ever facing the GOAT? Until that contract is signed, the world waits. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who wins if they fight, Jon Jones or Tom Aspinall? Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fight talk.